Hey, it's Dr. Wonder. Today, I want to go over some information I had with a patient last week. And long story short, the patient was improving, but they were not improving at the speed that either one of us would like. And so I was trying to figure out, what was the missing piece, what was the missing link. And I was going over the person's food log, and not always is the food an issue, but you listen up to the story. Um, and so what she was writing down, it looked good. And then I said, let me, instead of writing down exactly what you're eating, I want you to write down, I want you to send me a picture of the labels where possible. And so she started sending me labels for about a week. And then, I found the problem. And the problem was, she was eating foods that were lower in carbs and lower in sugar, etc. But she didn't understand why A, she wasn't losing weight, and B, why her blood sugar and her A1C was not improving at the rate that she thought that it would. And so I'm going to read the ingredients of one of the things that she was eating, and I have to put on my glasses because the letters are really small. Okay, so these are tortillas. I'm not going to put the brand name on here. I'm not going to put them on blast, but the tortillas have zero net carbs and zero sugars. So this patient and most of you watching this video would probably think, hey, that's probably a good thing, right? But let me start reading the ingredients, and I'm just going to read them in order. Um, Water, which is fine. Modified food starch, not fine. Vegetable shortening, hydrogenated soybean oils, vital wheat gluten isolate, powdered cellulose, yellow number five aluminum, blue number one aluminum, natural flavor, sunflower oil, pea protein, um, mono monodiglycerides, glycosides, steviol, calcium propionate. So that the moral of the story is if you're eating things that sound like they should be in a science project versus actual food. And then what was funny is I sent her to the store to get a particular, like she wanted some protein bars for snacks. And I sent her a bar. And when she got the bar, she sent me a message and she said, "But doc, it has 7 grams of sugar and 16 grams of carbs." And I'm like, well, the tortillas you were eating had zero net carbs and zero sugars, but yet all those are different ingredients. And so I said, I had her read the ingredients of the bar to me, and I'm like, do any of them sound like they should be in a science project? So the moral of the story is if you're trying to stick to this low sugar, low carb thing, which is virtually impossible, but you're eating all of these, gluten free this and light this and non fat this, and they have the ingredients that sound like they should be in a science project versus food, you're going to make yourself worse. This patient, just in 1 week, her blood sugars were averaging in the 230 range. Now, mind you, when she started with us, she was averaging in the 300 range, but then she moved down to the 230 range, right? This past week, she just sent me her number. So today's Monday, where patients send us our numbers, and her highest number was 125. She did not make any other changes except, not eat, because we were already attacking the cell. We were already attacking the insulin resistance. We were already getting the toxins out of her system, getting the inflammation out of her system, making sure her gut was working properly, make sure her hormones were in alignment. We were already doing those things, and we were doing them well. So she was putting fuel to the fire, basically, right? By putting these more toxins into her system. And toxins are important because toxins are the things that block entryway into the cells for what? For hormones such as insulin and testosterone, DHEA, progesterone, estrogen, etc., which make you more insulin resistant. So again, you have a cellular disease, whether you have a thyroid issue or a diabetes issue, you have a cellular issue. And the food is never going to solve your problem, but it can make the problem worse, right? And the analogy, you may have heard me say this, but I think it's worth repeating, is that, if you put the wrong fuel into your car's not going to run well, right? But if you start putting the right fuel in it, well, is it going to run a little bit better? Yes. And are you not causing any more issues? Yes, because now you have the right fuel, i.e. the right food going in your body. However, if your car also needs a front end alignment, new brakes, spark plugs, carburetor, 4 new tires, putting the right fuel is not going to fix it. And so if we would have been doing nothing else but changing her food, she would not be seeing these numbers like that. We were already doing the things to address the problems, and we just needed to make sure she wasn't making herself work. Okay, back at you later.